Okay. Thank you for coming this afternoon, Mr. Anderson. As you know, we're here for the Citizen League's Voter Education Program, and we are interviewing candidates for District 9 County Council, and we appreciate you taking the time to meet with us. What we will do is start off with, after I finish this brief introduction, start off with 5 or so minutes to give you an opportunity to talk about yourself and your campaign, and then we will start with a question and answer session that will take up to the rest of the 30-minute period. While we all have issues that we like to talk about, our questions aren't scripted, so it can be very conversational, very informal. And then, afterwards, I'm happy to tell you about how the rest of the process will unfold. But basically, we'll have biographical background information on our website. We'll have the questionnaire response, and we did get your response, and we appreciate that. And then once we get over the minimal tech hurdles, we'll also have these videos, and it's all obviously for the purpose of educating the voters so they can make their best decision on election day.
Okay.
So with that, I'll turn things over to you and let you have the floor for a few minutes.
Well, thank you. My name is Lloyd Anderson, and I'm a sitting councilman in the city of Bedford Heights. And I'm glad to be here in Shaker Heights where the forum is held, because I was a two-time resident here. When I graduated from high school, because I'm a Cleveland native, I went to John Adams, where I graduated from. But after college, I went to Howard University and got my bachelor's in not business administration, government. And then came back here to Cleveland. And my parents had bought a home in Shaker right after I graduated from high school on Scottsdale. So once I got settled, and my first home was purchased in Shaker Heights on Lindholm. So from there, I've been working I was in downtown Cleveland. I have a banking and insurance background, and I got my JD from Cleveland State while I was working at night. So I got interested. I always was interested in politics because government was my major in undergrad. But I kind of postponed that while I was working, and then once I kind of going at it at a second career now, I got interested when I moved out to Bedford Heights, where I've been living for the past about 16 years. And I ran for council seat, and I got this seat here. But matter of fact, previously I had run for the seat that I'm in now. So this is my second shot at it, and I got it. And I enjoyed the process, and I enjoy sitting on council now. So once this seat was open and available, it's like a natural move for me coming out of city politics into county politics, and so I'm interested in moving forward and putting my craft and skills available for sitting on county council with the colleagues there.
What do you think are perhaps the top 3 priorities that you would make if you were elected? Or top 3 issue areas you might address if you were elected?
Well, I know one thing that's important. I know is collaboration and partnership. That's kind of countywide, statewide, really national. And then schools is very important to me in the educational process, and economic development as well. So I would say those 3 areas would be a priority on my checklist. I know I sit on the Economic Development Council, a committee in Bedford Heights, and we have about close to 500 businesses in Bedford Heights. surprised at that, even once I became councilman and started going out to my ward, because that's where most of the businesses are. And so that's an area of concern in most cities, because you want to attract businesses, new businesses, but you also want to retain them and have them grow within your city. And I know you can kind of sleep that at times, and maybe you have a business that's in your area, and you think everything's going fine, and they may take their executives to another area, and so you lose that income. And so you want to always be have a pulse on what's going on in your city, so you know exactly what's happening, and that your vision is being fulfilled or not fulfilled.
What sort of things as a member of council can you do to help with economic development?
Yeah, thank you. As a member of city council, as I said, I think basically talking to the business people, that's very important. Just stopping over or calling up, trying to get an appointment, talk to folks, see how things are going. Invite them to everything you have, because I'm surprised, and I think a lot of people would be surprised how much businesses want to be involved if you invite them and ask them. We had a playground built 2 years ago in Bedford Heights, and one of our largest businesses in the city bought shovels, rakes, all kinds of things. Just asked me what can we do to help. And I said, well, just come on out. And he said, you need some shovels or something? I said, yeah. And he spent over $1,000, just donating not only the shovels but the labor and people in the company coming over and helping out. So I just think making them feel that they're a partner, part of the city. They just don't come in and out of the city. They have a vested interest in it. Whether they live there or not, they still are residents. They're just business residents. So I just think keeping that pipeline open and always being accessible to them, and making sure you're accessible, they're accessible to you too. Give them your card. Tell them, hey, I'm available and can help out. You can bring the residents. I know this year I plan on having the residents have a tour of some of the businesses that want to participate, and just letting them know that, hey, you can buy our products. You don't have to look on TV for an advertisement about what we're doing. This is what we do.